Hi, everyone watching Today All Day. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday.
You are tuning in to our little digital show. It's called Today in 30. It's a half hour of everything that you need to catch up on from our show earlier this morning.
We will start with the devastating blow from the remnants of Ida all across the Northeast. Historic rain, flooding emergencies, and tornadoes. Traffic here in New York City has been brought to a standstill. We'll have complete coverage for you.
Also this morning, Carson has an amazing story to share on the life-saving power of transplants. He's going to introduce us to a recipient and the person whose donation gave his life new meaning. And then they're going to meet in person for the very first time right in Studio 1A.
Plus, Lady Gaga's mom is with us to talk about their campaign to inspire kindness, especially in the way young people treat each other.
It's a packed show, so let's go. Time for Today in 30. We're going to start with Stephanie Gosk this morning. Steph is surveying the damage and the flooding in Queens, and she's standing in what appears to be what's left of an Exxon gas station.
Yeah, that's right, Craig. It was about 10 o'clock last night. The rain was coming down so hard, so fast, that it brought the roof of this gas station crashing down. And check out what it crashed down upon, that car. Thankfully, the owner of the car was inside. No one here was injured. You know, the National Weather Service doing something you mentioned they only very rarely do. They first issued a flash flood warning here in New York City. They upgraded that to a flash flood emergency. They only do that when the situation is life-threatening.
This morning, the East Coast pummeled by deadly storms, fueled by the remnants of Hurricane Ida. Tornadoes, flooding, and heavy winds throughout the Northeast. In New York and New Jersey, historic rains, causing one of the wettest Septembers on record. And it's only the second day of the month. New York City's infrastructure devastated, making streets impassable. Roads and parkways quickly submerged. Residents needed rescue from rising waters. The National Weather Service posting, "This is a life-threatening situation. Seek higher ground now." New York's governor declaring a state of emergency. Captured on video, floodwaters pouring into subway stations, submerging vehicles. In Queens, heavy rains causing this Exxon station to collapse onto a vehicle. On Staten Island, firefighters rescued an MTA bus driver and supervisor as workers from a nearby CVS jumped in to help them to safety. In Westchester County, just outside of the city, high winds and heavy rain, making driving conditions dangerous.
How bad is it out there?
It's pretty bad. Cars that are stuck, people that get stranded, people that are, taking public transportation if they have to.
In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy also declaring a state of emergency. One mayor, Hector Laura, asking residents to stay off the road.
We have vehicles stuck on President Street where the water has risen so high that we have up to 4 to 5 vehicles that are stuck in the middle of the street. We're presently trying to help individuals come out of the road.
Look at that tornado!
I've never seen anything like this, especially in South Jersey.
Multiple homes were destroyed.
Wind, maybe 5 minutes, and then just everything was decimated.
Here's a remarkable statistic from last night. In Central Park, roughly between 9 and 10 o'clock, 3.15 inches of rain fell, shattering the previous record, which was 1.94. And that record, Craig, was set just a week and a half ago with Hurricane Henri.
Let's bring in Dylan, who's in for Al, tracking where Ida's been and what's next. Dylan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Remember, Ida at one point was a Category 4 hurricane, so it had a lot of water with it. It had a lot of intensity with it, which is why we saw tornadoes in places we don't normally see large tornadoes, like southern New Jersey. Watch as the track of this storm. It brought a lot of rain to eastern Pennsylvania throughout most of the day yesterday. York, Pennsylvania, nearly 6.5 inches of rain. But then as it moved eastward, it brought 8.44 inches of rain to Newark, 7.2 in New York City, and then continued to move through Connecticut. So just to put this into perspective, this is something we've never seen before. In Newark, 3.24 inches in just 1 hour. In New York City, 3.15 inches. That is the most rain ever received in a single hour. Now let's put this into perspective as far as 6-hour rainfall totals. Newark picked up 7.88 inches in just 6 hours. New York picked up more than 6.5 inches. That's a 1 in a 500-year rainfall event. So that is something we have never seen before. The good news now is the rain has cleared cleared the tri-state area. Now it's going to bring most of that heavier rain through New England, and winds have increased in speed a bit. So we are still looking at those gusty winds. But as far as additional rainfall for New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, that is not going to happen out of this storm. Craig.
All right, Dylan, thank you.
We are back with Milestones We Missed, our ongoing series where we help people come together to celebrate life's special moments and landmarks that have been impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah, Chanel, we've got a great one this morning reflecting the best in humanity. Tia Jensen and Gage Tappy did not know each other just a few months ago, yet they saved each other's lives, and their reunion has been a long time coming. But first, a quick look at how they got here.
I thought I just maybe had bruised an ankle, and my blood work came back really awful.
Back in 2018, Tia Jensen discovered she was in a fight for her life.
They pretty much diagnosed leukemia pretty quickly.
What was going through your mind when you got that diagnosis?
I have lived with multiple sclerosis for 20 years. I was sad, but it was just another thing I was going to have to face.
Tia needed a bone marrow transplant to save her life. She started chemotherapy at the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance and waited for a match. Around the same time, just a few hours away in Idaho, Gage Tappy was fighting his own battle with depression.
It's been a struggle my entire life, but at that point it was probably at an all-time low. I was in a new state, kind of living on my own, had my youngest daughter with me half the time, and it was just really, really hard.
When he saw a video ad for Be the Match, the registry for the National Marrow Donor Program, he signed up. A few months later, he got a call. He was a match. Did you ever think about opting out?
No, that's how I was raised. Help people when they need help. Do what you can, and that's it.
Within months, Tia received the transplant she desperately needed, and it was a success. Not only is her leukemia in remission, but so is her MS.
By undergoing a transplant and getting a new immune system, it, in theory, should eliminate that underlying disease process as well. For Tia's case, because she got this new immune system, the hope is that we sort of kill two birds with one stone.
In an effort to thank her donor, Tia wrote numerous letters in hopes of reaching him, but none made it to Gage, until 2 years later, when she got the email she'd so anxiously been waiting for.
I was screaming, running through the house, oh my gosh, I have my donor information.
Tia and Gage are in touch, but have never met face to face. You obviously helped save Tia's life, but in turn, this did a lot for you too.
I gave myself a chance to put some value to my own life by trying to help somebody extend theirs. It gave me just a sense of value to myself, something that I didn't previously have.
Tia is overcome with gratitude for Gage's generosity and selflessness. You wrote, "Nothing about a loving act is strange. I truly love a person I've never met."
I am so grateful that my donor was willing to be brave and take that step and share his kindness and give me a second chance at life.
And because of that kindness, here we are today. Tia is with us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I know this is overwhelming. People at home should know the pandemic has delayed this meeting between you and Gage. Can you talk about just for a moment why it was so important for you to fly all the way from the West Coast to have this face-to-face meeting?
I have been wanting to meet Gage for so long, and when you guys put out a call for Milestones, I wrote in, and it's like I missed meeting Gage because of the pandemic. And I realized, well, because of Gage, there were a lot of milestones I won't miss. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm going to get to be with my family. I'm going to get to be in the memories, and I wanted to share that with the world.
Well, I know Gage wants to meet you too, so we should mention before Gage comes out, Tia is still considered immunocompromised, so out of an abundance of caution, we'll keep some distance between you. Of course, eventually you guys are going to be able to grab each other and just squeeze each other, but for now, at least you can lock eyes with him. So here we are finally. Are you ready to meet him face to face?
I am so ready.
All right, Gage, my friend, come on out.
Where's Gage?
That door, it's like, open door. Oh, yes.
Gage, there you are. Hi.
Oh, my goodness.
So great to see you.
We'll let you guys have a moment
Yeah, it is. It's been, wow, this is a journey.
Long time coming.
Yeah.
Can either of you find the words to describe how you're feeling in this moment?
I feel so blessed to be here and just so happy to see you.
I'm grateful to finally get the chance to meet you. And just grateful and happy that we're here.
Your gift to me. Wow, Gage. You're just a great kid. I'm so glad to know you.
You know, it's so interesting. You said he's a great kid, Gage. I want you to take me back. When you first found out you were told you were a potential match, I read, you were only told her gender and her age, and she reminded you of someone with just those two facts. Talk to us about that.
She reminded me of, as soon as they told me gender and age, I instantly thought of my mom, and just kind of my mom was in that position, and if she needed help, I hope somebody would help her. It was as simple as that.
You've been very open about the fact that you suffer with anxiety and depression. Tell me, or take me back to when you decided to make this decision to do this and volunteer.
There was a video on Facebook, and I was talking about a little girl who needed a donation, and of course, they get to the end of the video and that she didn't make it. And of course, at that moment, that kid was the same age as my youngest daughter. And I crying, signing up on the internet at probably 1 a.m. And next thing I know, I'm getting the packet. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did this. Swab my cheeks and sent it off.
And little did you know, you saved someone's wife. I want to bring in Carson here. He's very close to this topic. Carson, there's no question about it. This story will change lives.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so bummed I couldn't be there with the storm today. I literally couldn't get in there like many of us. So this has been so incredible to watch. Tia and Gage, thank you for allowing us to share this moment. One thing did stick out, Gage, when we spoke. You have a lot of great female presence in your life. You did at a young age, and you do now with 2 daughters. And you brought one of your daughters to one of the procedures that you did. And I wanted you to share with people why you did that, what you hope she would learn from that.
Yeah, so I brought my youngest daughter, Sylvia, with me, and when I was getting my filgrastim injections, and that's just to boost your stem cell production within your bone marrow. And I just wanted her to be able to be with me during that time, not just for my own comfort, but for just to have her meet other people, because we got to sit with other people who are undergoing treatment and get to know them and explain what I was doing and them explain what they were going through. And
such a powerful experience that she'll hold on to. So we want to let you guys have a moment to connect. There's no question about it. You have changed lives. And for people who are dealing with anxiety, you've shown that you were able to push through that and do some good. So we thank you guys so much for coming in this morning. And again, one day you'll be able to, we'll get there. You can grab each other.
Do I get to say anything?
Absolutely. What would you like to say?
The one thing I wanted to say was, Gage, you inspired me, and you did such an amazing thing for me and my family, and I wanted to honor you. And I reached out to Be to Match, and we put together an online event and in your honor. It's Be Like Gage, and hopefully we can save some more lives, you and I.
I hope so.
Oh, my goodness. God bless both of you guys. Yeah. And for anyone watching, we know that this is such a powerful moment, and we're sure your story will leave a mark. And so if people want to learn more about donor registration, we have it all for you. We were prepared. We put it all on our website at today.com.
Well, one thing we can all use a little more of these days, ladies, kindness. Back in 2011, Lady Gaga and her mom, Cynthia Germanata, they started the Born This Way Foundation. It's a foundation designed to help young people with their mental health, and they have been going strong ever since.
This year, they are continuing their work with the Be Kind 21 initiative, which challenges and encourages people to practice an act of kindness each day for 21 days this September.
I love it. So joining us now is the president of the Born This Way Foundation, Cynthia Germanata. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Chanel. It's great to be with you.
Great to be with you. I have been raving about you ever since I met you for that first time at the restaurant. And I have said it so many times that you are one of the kindest warmest moms I have ever met. So you practice what you preach, no question about it. And a lot has happened since we last talked. You're very connected to teens and young adults. So, Cynthia, what have you learned about their mental health, especially coming out of this pandemic?
We have learned so much. In fact, the challenges of the last few years, when you think about it, there have been multiple crises that are happening for the entire world between the pandemic, social injustice, so many world crises, and there's been a huge surge in mental health. And this really prompted us to partner with the Harris Poll and conduct a survey to look at how young people are experiencing mental health and kindness. How do they define it? And we've learned from them that they view kindness not just as being nice, but as action. Yeah. And despite these challenges, they view kindness as a path forward. And 73% of them feel that kindness is key to their mental health. So we're very encouraged by what we're seeing despite these many challenges.
And I'm thinking about elementary school, middle school, high school. I mean, they're not known as the kindest places around, but how can parents support their kids? How do they make them, feel less alone and get through what can be a difficult time?
As parents, I feel that we can model healthy conversations about mental health. I feel that we can model kindness with our young people. We can teach them self-care, particularly in middle school, and that's a time of transition when you're going from childhood to adulthood. You want to fit in and you want to feel good, about yourself and your friendships. And this is a time where kindness, more than anything else, can really help. And we've learned there's an inextricable link between kindness and mental health, because young people that report being in kind environments have better mental health indicator scores. So it's win-win all the way around. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cynthia, talk to us a little bit about the Be Kind 21 initiative for someone who wants to participate. What sorts of acts of kindness would you recommend, from small actions to maybe even bigger, meaningful, larger, more meaningful actions?
Right. So Be Kind 21, as you mentioned, started 4 years ago, and it's become a huge movement. This year we have over 6.3 million people signed up, with 132 million committed acts of kindness. And, we define kindness as doing an act of kindness for someone else or yourself, in fact, without expecting anything in return. It can be as simple as buying a cup of coffee for somebody in the coffee line behind you. It can be saying hello to a neighbor in the morning. It can be advocacy. It can be learning to become a better ally. It also shows up in different forms. We had one young woman who chose to not self-harm herself for 21 days. So there are just so many incredible ways. It's whatever brings you joy and whatever brings the recipient joy.
I have to ask about your daughter real quick. I want to call her Lady Gaga. Of course, you just know her as Stephanie, but she's helped so many people through her music. She's really just been such an inspiration for so many. What's it like for you to see her get back on stage again for her upcoming tour?
Well, I mean, it's wonderful. I think one of the keys to all of us during this pandemic has been remaining connected. And, through music and through convenings, that's a great way for everyone to be connected through kindness. So I'm super excited to be there and to see that again. I think everybody is.
Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. If every single person listening to us this morning can vow to be kind and do something for 21 days, just think all of the goodness we can do.
Makes a big difference.
Such a great initiative. God bless. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you so much.
Who doesn't love a bowl of gooey mac and cheese? It's comfort food at its best, and it's the perfect back-to-school dish.
So put away the box version for now. You're about to learn how to make it like a pro with the help of Molly Ye. She's a popular blogger and the star of Girl Meets Farm, and it's on the Food Network.
Okay, she joined us from her farm in Minnesota. Take a look. Your husband is a fifth-generation farmer, and before you guys got married, had you worked on a farm? That's such a cute family.
No.
No.
He grows sugar beets. I had never heard of a sugar beet. I had really never been to a farm. I thought that harvest meant drinking pumpkin spice lattes and lighting candles and stuff. And when I moved here, I learned what harvest really is. But it's beautiful out here. It gets very cold in the winter, and it's just perfect for hearty food.
All right, let's talk mac and cheese, because we want to hear your special twist on it.
Yes, so I am making a combination of two of my all-time favorite foods, everything bagels and macaroni and cheese.
Yum.
It is so comforting and hearty, and it's also very easy to make. So I've got some onion cooking in butter here. This is how I start most of my macaroni and cheese recipes. It smells heavenly in here. I'm going to add some all-purpose flour, and the combination of the flour and the butter is going to create a roux, and that's going to thicken up that creamy, cheesy sauce. And if you're gluten-free, you can use gluten-free all-purpose flour and pasta as well. So anytime you're making a roux, you want to cook it for a couple of minutes so that that floury flavor dissipates, and then add some milk very gradually as you stir continuously, and that's going to allow the sauce to thicken up nice and smoothly and luxuriously.
What kind of milk is that? Just normal?
This is whole milk. You can use 2%. You can even use dairy-free milk, but I'm about to add a bunch of cheese. So for the cheese, once this sauce thickens, you want to add your cheese. I use a combination of cheeses to get more depth of flavor, and since this is a bagel-inspired mac and cheese, I'm adding cream cheese, which adds that creamy richness.
Yes, but Molly Yeh does.
It also adds like the tanginess. Yeah, so it just takes it completely over the top. I'm also adding some white cheddar and some Parmesan just for more flavor and meltiness. Gruyere is also really nice too if you're feeling fancy. So once this thickens up and melts, it looks like this. This is my cheese sauce. I'm going to add a few more bagel-y things. So I don't know what your favorite cream cheese is, but mine is scallion cream cheese. So I'm adding some chopped scallions. And you get a green thing in there too. And then this is an optional ingredient. It is the magic ingredient in bagels that makes them have that slightly sweet malty flavor. It's barley malt syrup. You can order it online, but again, if you want to make it without it, it'll be just as delicious. A little bit of crushed red pepper for some heat. And then, okay, I think this is kind of a controversial addition, but I love hot dogs in my macaroni and cheese.
Hot dogs.
Brings me right back to childhood.
So you chop the wieners kind of thin?
Chop the wieners thin. Yep, so you get those nice little discs. You can use any kind of hot dog. You can use veggie dogs, or you can leave them out. But I like adding it because then it's sort of like a bagel dog mac and cheese.
Okay.
Okay, next I've got the pasta. I am using rigatoni because you get more in every bite. And anytime you bake a pasta, you want to cook it, you want to boil it for a couple of minutes less than what the package directions say, because it's going to continue to get soft in the oven. So cook it until it's very al dente. Mix this up. And then you can assemble it all in one dish like this and stick it in the oven if you have something that's stove safe and oven safe, or you can pour it into a casserole dish. And then once this combines, you've got to have a crispy topping. So I'm topping it with panko breadcrumbs. And then that seedy everything bagel topping. So you can make your own. It's so good on everything. I use it on toast, on salads, of course on mac and cheese, and you can make it yourself. It's just poppy seeds, sesame seeds, dried minced onion, and dried minced garlic.
Thank you.
And
That looks delicious. We want to say thank you. That beauty is incredible.
Yes.
Thank you, Molly.
You're definitely going to want to stick around for another big morning tomorrow on Today.
We are going to have live music on our plaza from Keith Urban. You won't want to miss it. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.